It's time for Plainfield Quakers basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wings Etc., Prestwick Pet Sitters, State Farm Agent Jeremiah P. Whip, Raymond's Alignment Service, and J.P. Brenz and Caliber Home Loans. Red Pride Basketball is an AudioSportsOnline.com production. Now let's go courtside for tonight's game. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online. My name's Brian Scott. I'm going to be joined shortly by Christopher Worley as we bring you the first of 10 broadcasts of Red Pride Basketball this season on Audio Sports Online. The Quakers come into tonight's contest with the Martinsville Artesians as the Quakers play in their second Mid-State Conference game of the season. They are 0-1 on the season. They lost 64-46 at Whiteland back on December 5th. But Plainfield now 1-3 on the year after losing their first 3 games of the season, including a heartbreaking overtime loss here at Plainfield to Westfield, 72-68. They got back on the winning track last on December 6th when they defeated the Bulldogs of Monrovia 65-45. It was a game that wasn't close as Plainfield got off to a 13-1 start to begin that game, leading by 12 points after the end of the first quarter. They led 45-14 at the half and then pretty much were able to keep their distance from the Bulldogs the rest of the way in winning by 20, 65-45. Sophomore Nathan Mills, leading scorer for the Quakers, 18 points. He had 9 boards and 3 blocks in that contest. Junior Max Kurkowski finished with 14 points and 9 rebounds. The difference in the game, it was on the glass as the Quakers continue to do a pretty good job of wiping the glass this season. They out-rebounded Monrovia 37-19. They had 15 assists in that game and also 6 blocks. So looking to see if they can stretch this winning streak now, make it 2 in a row, and they'll take on the Martinsville Artesians. And when we come back, Chris Worley will join me. We'll give you the starting lineups and the tip-off between the Quakers and the Artesians. This is Red Pride Basketball on ASO. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com. Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact J.P. today at 550-2116. That's J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans. We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield. Welcome back to Plainfield High School. Brian Scott along with Christopher Worley as we get ready for game 1 of our 10-game schedule of Quaker basketball here on Audio Sports Online. As I mentioned, Plainfield comes into tonight's contest with a record of 1-3 after defeating Monrovia last week 65-45. Meanwhile, the Artesians come into tonight's contest with a record of 2-1. They won their first 2 games of the season, but then went on the road. And Chris, anytime you have to go down and play Columbus North, that's not going to be a fun night.
Oh, sure. Always a challenge down there at either of those Columbus schools. That's right, Brian.
And the Artesians came away rather on the short end of the stick. They lost 79-58. So Coach Kip Staggs is hoping that his squad can possibly find themselves getting back on track tonight. But they will do so against the Quakers, who are, again, coming off of a season last year, a rather disappointing one in head coach Andy Weaver's inaugural season at the helm of the Quakers. They finished with a record of 5-16, losing to Avon in the sectionals. Before we give you the starting lineups and talk some more about tonight's game, we'll have our national anthem. Fine rendition of our national anthem by the Plainfield High School Pep Band as we get ready for basketball here on Audio Sports Online. Let's give you the starting lineup for tonight's contest. For the visiting Martinsville Artesians, they have a record of 2-1. The head coach is Kip Staggs. He is 17-9 in his second year at the helm of Martinsville, and his starting lineup will look like this tonight. It will be a three-guard lineup. Starting at a guard is a 6-foot junior Logan Ratz. At the other guard is a 6-foot senior Gannon Myers. At the third guard position is a 6'3 junior Zach Anderson. At one forward, a 6-foot senior Trey Deaton. And the other forward is a 6'8 junior Keegan Northern. So the backcourt for Coach Staggs and the Artesians will have Ratz, Myers, and Anderson. And up in the front court, Northern and Deaton. For the Plainfield Quakers, the head coach is Andy Weaver, 11-35 in his third year at the helm of the Quakers, and a 237 and 211 in his 21st season overall. He will have what is a rarity here in high school basketball, a very conventional lineup, 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. Starting at a guard is a 5'10 senior Kyler Nichols. At the other guard, a 6'2 junior is Reese Crawford. At one forward is a 6'1 junior Bryson Ellis. At the other forward, in the second leading scorer for the Quakers, is a 6'6 junior Max Kurkowski. And at center, in the leading scorer for the Quakers, a 6'5 sophomore Nathan Mills. So the backcourt for the Quakers, Crawford and Nichols. Up front, Kurkowski, Ellis, and Mills. That's your starting lineup for the Plainfield Quakers. I mentioned Nathan Mills, leading scorer for the Quakers this season. He is averaging over 16 points per game, over 6 rebounds per game, and a couple of blocks per game as well. Kurkowski, second leading scorer, over 10 points a game and 6 rebounds a game. Plainfield, a team that does a very good job on the glass. They're averaging a little over 30 rebounds per contest and 10 assists. However, what's been the big problem for Coach Weaver's ball club, they have been turning it over almost 13 times a game. The ball is in the air, and this game is underway with the Quakers controlling the tip, and Kyler Nichols will bring it across the timeline for the Quakers.
Martinsville going to start in a man-to-man here, Brian.
Martinsville looks more, actually they will kind of match up that zone, but they're actually, it's going to be a zone, and they are keeping one player closely guarding Max Kurkowski. So they are trying to match up wherever possible, but trying to sink down low into the post. As being patient is Kyler Nichols as he'll back up the ball near to the center timeline. Just underway here at Plainfield High School. Glad you could join us. Christopher Worley joins me tonight. My name's Brian Scott. Turnaround jumper just in front of the free throw line is up and good by Nathan Mills.
Nathan, a nice turnaround jumper there, and you are right, Brian. They are having their number one, Keegan Northern, stay man-to-man on Nathan.
And just as Chris finishes that, Keegan Northern will get the ball in a nice entry pass, and he'll get the bucket. And we are tied at 2 with 1 minute in the books here at Plainfield High School. We are tied at 2.
So the big guys get us started on both ends with a close-in bucket.
Here is a 3-ball by Nichols. His shot no good. Rebounded by Trey Deaton of the Artesians, and he'll bring it up himself and kick it right side into the hands of Myers. Gannon Myers with the basketball, as now Plainfield will drop into their own 2-3 zone. They'll swing it left side. This is Zach Anderson with the basketball. He'll give it up top to Logan Ratz. Ratz right side. This is Myers with the basketball. They get it to the free throw line. Good ball movement by Martinsville. They'll kick it out. Here's Northern. His three's no good off the front of the rim. The rebound by Anderson as he goes back. We'll have our first whistle of the contest as he'll be fouled on the putback.
Of course, Plainfield has an active student section. They're dressed in their military garb, the camo gear here tonight, sporting that at this ball game here at home, and they didn't like that foul call on Max, but no complaining by Kurkowski or Coach Weaver on the foul.
Kurkowski called for the foul. Anderson hits the first of a pair to give the Artesians a 3-2 lead, and he'll have one more free throw on the way. He will can both of them, and Martinsville is up on top 4-2 with 6:19 left to go opening quarter. With the basketball, Max Kurkowski, as he dribbles top of the key, picks it up, goes left side into the hands of Reese Crawford. Crawford, pull-up jumper from about 12 feet, rims out, no good. Northern with a rebound for the Artesians. Martinsville up by 2 with 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. They'll go up top. This is Zach Anderson with the basketball. They get it to the free throw line, poked away, and Anderson's able to corral it for the Artesians. He gives it to Gannon Myers, and Myers will reset the offense for Martinsville. Nice bounce pass, entry pass to Northern. Turnaround hook shot is long, but right there to get the basketball was Gannon Myers from Martinsville. They'll feed Northern again. That one at point blank, he misses, but the tap out goes into the hands of Logan Ratz, and Ratz is able to put it up and in.
Mr. Logan there hustled and following up that shot with the rebound. Able to get it so far. Martinsville getting in all close-in shots against the Red Pride defense.
6-2 in favor of Martinsville. 5:16 left to go in this first quarter. Kurkowski drives, right-hand runner in the lane is no good, and Martinsville will come away with a rebound. Outlet to Gannon Myers. Myers pull up from the right elbow is up and good. And the Artesians jump out to an 8-2 lead with 5 minutes left to go first quarter. And the ball will go out of bounds, but it will belong to Plainfield. Substitution is coming in for Plainfield is Mark Dahm, the second. He's going to come in for Max Kurkowski.
Mark Dahm so far in these first few games playing about 16 minutes a game. He's the first substitution off the bench here for Plainfield.
Inbounded into the hands of Reese Crawford. Crawford will go right side to Nichols, who will reset the offense between the circles. Bounce pass left side. This is Nathan Mills. They'll lob it into Mills, and Mills will catch it and put it in on a nice pass by Nichols.
Nathan Mills scoring so far at 16.8 points per game. They had that play called and a good setup for Mills to get a close basket.
There's a swat by Mills on the jumper by Anderson, and the foul's going to go against Martinsville as they tried to corral the loose ball.
Of course, you Plainfield fans know Nathan Mills is a great athlete. You saw him get the bucket on one end on the offensive end, run down and get the block shot on the other. Good play there on both ends by Nathan Mills.
Tim Bolin and Wyatt Stroder now into the contest for Coach Kip Stagg's Artesians. They lead by 4 with 4:23 left to go first quarter, but the Quakers have the basketball. Mills trying to post up. The entry pass by Bryson Ellis is denied, but it goes off a Artesian, and the ball will stay in the hands of the Quakers. They'll inbound it from the baseline, or the end line, excuse me. Looking to get it in. They get it in just inside the 5-second call. And the nice drive, left side baseline by Bryson Ellis is good, and the Quakers have cut the deficit to 2 at 8-6 with 4:08 left to go first quarter.
Bryson Ellis just ravaging 3.3 points a game so far, but a nice drive there, physical drive, put it up and over the Martinsville defender.
This is Tim Bolin with the basketball as he will give it up top to Trey Deaton. Deaton, they feed the left side just inside the three-point arc shot, no good. And the ball is going to go out of bounds, but they'll say it went off of a Quaker, and it'll belong to Martinsville. Substitutions now for Coach Andy Weaver as Connor Brenz is now into the contest, as well as Keegan Motter. 8-6 in favor of Martinsville. They have the basketball, and a breakdown in communications there is an easy inbound feed to Trey Deaton, and Martinsville gets an easy 2.
It sure was. You wonder if those 3 subs came in, were alert and ready for that inbounds play. Didn't look like it. Martinsville, an easy basket on the inbounds.
Mills at the top. He'll go right side to Dahm. Dahm with the basketball. He's worked closely by Deaton, and he'll have the ball up to Keegan Motter. Keegan loses it briefly, now picks up his dribble, looking for somebody to give it to. He's closely guarded, but he will find Connor Brenz. Connor goes right side, gives the ball up to Motter, now poked away, but Keegan able to corral the basketball and bring it back into the front court. And now we'll have a whistle and a foul with 3:04 left to go in the first quarter. Martinsville leads 10-6, and they'll pick up their second team foul as the foul will go against Wyatt Stroder, his first. 2 team fouls for the Artesians. Only one called against the Quakers as they will inbound the ball into the backcourt as Keegan Motter will chase it down and bring it back across the timeline. 10-6, Martinsville. This is Mills with a basketball. Turnaround from the free throw line. Banked it off and in. 6 points for Mills.
Yeah, but a good-looking shot there, even though it was banked off the backboard. Good form, good fundamentals by Nathan Mills.
And now the ball is going to be poked away by Reese Crawford, and the Artesians will retain control of the basketball, but it's only a 2-point lead with 2:45 left to go in this first quarter of play. Tim Bolin will take the basketball for the Artesians as the Quakers reset that zone defense. Driving in the lane, but it's going to be waved off as Tim Boland's going to be called for steps. Into the game for the Artesians is Josh Bertelson. He will take over for Trey Deaton. And Bryson Ellis back into the contest for Coach Andy Weaver. He will come in for Mark Dom's second. 10-8, favor of Martinsville. 2:37 left to go, opening quarter. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. First of 10 broadcasts of Red Pride basketball here on Audio Sports Online. As the Quakers have the basketball, they can tie it with a 2. Driving, laying it high off the glass and up and in on a nice job by Reese Crawford.
Boy, nice play by Reese there. He comes into this game. Reese just averaging, we'll get it here for a second, 10 points a game, just over 10 points. Great drive there and got the hoop off the backboard.
We're tied at 10 as we approach the 2-minute mark left to go in quarter number 1. Martinsville, good ball movement. Here's Northern, his shot off 3 ball in the corner's no good. Plainfield with a 2-on-1, but unable to control the basketball was Keegan Motter, and Plainfield will reset. 3 ball on the way from the right wing, no good by Crawford, and Martinsville comes away with a rebound. They won't have numbers, but they'll give a bounce pass. They'll feed down low to Bertelson. He'll kick it back out. 1:40 left to go first quarter. Inside the arc, shot no good by Kane Young, and Plainfield can retake the lead with a bucket here, and 1:30 left to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 10.
Boy, excellent passing, good ball movement by Martinsville on that possession as they swung the ball from side to side. Just couldn't get the bucket to go from three-point land.
This is Mills with the basketball. Double team comes. He kicks it down low, back out. With the basketball, Keegan Motter, skip pass across into Crawford's hands, and Crawford will give it back to Motter, and as Motter gets the basketball, he's going to be fouled by Wyatt Stroder. It'll be Stroder's second, team foul number 3 against Martinsville.
Boy, Brian, Max Krakowski has set out most of this first quarter. Kind of a surprise to me. Of course, Max, second leading scorer for Plainfield at 10.3 points per game, but Max has set out most of this first quarter.
Coach Staggs will get Gannon Myers and Trey Deaton, 2 of his starters, back into the lineup as we approach the 1-minute mark, tied at 10. Picking up his dribble is Motter, and they'll get it into the hands of Crawford. Crawford backs it out, picks his dribble up, now gives it to Mills. Nathan Mills with the basketball, top of the key, open for a second. Now he'll hand the ball off to Keegan Motter. 46 seconds left to go first quarter. We are tied at 10.
Now Martinsville looks to be in a pure man-to-man here, Brian.
They will go back to the man-to-man here as Crawford with it, and we'll see if they go for the 3. Right corner, rims out, no good on a shot by Keegan Motter, and we're going to have a foul on an over-the-back call against Plainfield. That one looks like it's going to go Connor Brenz, his first, team foul number 2. Reese Crawford will leave. Nathan Mills will also get a bit of a breather here with 29.9 seconds left to go in this first quarter. We're tied at 10. Martinsville will hold likely for the final shot. Down to 20 seconds left as pounding the basketball was Tim Boland. He'll give the ball up to Gannon Myers. Back to Boland. Boland feeds outside. Here is a shot. 3 ball on the way. Shot no good by Gannon Myers. Rebounded by Plainfield. 2-on-1. Taking it up. Laying it off the glass. No good is Keegan Motter. Put back up and in at the buzzer. As getting the bucket, Connor Brands as time expires. And the Quakers, after 8 minutes of play, lead the Martinsville Artesians 12-10. Back with second quarter action after this. This is Quaker basketball on ASO. We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to who'syourguy.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield.
Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
With Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. 8 minutes in the books. And after one quarter of play, the Quakers lead the Martinsville Artesians by the score of 12-10. Nathan Mills leading all scorers with 6 points in that first quarter. For Martinsville, they scored 10 points by 5 different players. Nobody in any foul trouble. Martinsville with 3 team fouls. Plainfield with only 2. And the Artesians will have the basketball to begin this second quarter of play.
Well, after a slow start, nice comeback there by Plainfield. I think they were down 8-2, Brian. Ended up winning that quarter 12-10.
Nice ball fake by Zach Anderson. He couldn't get it to drop, but Martinsville gets the loose ball, and they'll have another possession. Plainfield started the quarter man-to-man. They'll go back to zone now after that play. As up at the top is Tim Bolin. Bolin, right side, kicks it off. Gannon Myers for 3 in the corner is up and good.
He had to hit that shot over the long, outstretched arms of Nathan Mills. Did a good job there.
13-12 as the Artesians retake the lead on the 3-ball by Gannon Myers. First 3-point basket by either team in this contest. Plainfield, not one of the better 3-point shooting teams, but they tend to like to work the ball down low. Here's Mills in the lane. Right-hand runner is long, and it's going to be tipped out as trying to tip it out was Mark Dahm back over to Mills, but it goes out of bounds. And the Artesians will have the basketball on the court for Martinsville. Josh Bertelson, this is Tim Bolin with the basketball. Gannon Myers, Trey Deaton, and I believe Josh, as I mentioned, Josh Bertelson. It is Zach Anderson, the 5 on the court for Martinsville. We'll get you the Plainfield lineup in just a moment. Martinsville with a 13-12 lead, 6:52 left to go first half.
Of course, Coach Andy Weaver is always active there. He's directing his defense right from the sideline.
Bertelson's 8-footer is long, and fighting for the loose ball was Bryson Ellis and Trey Deaton. They'll say it went off of Deaton of Martinsville, and the ball will belong to the Plainfield Quakers. On the court for Plainfield, Reese Crawford. This is Mark Dahm, the second, with the basketball. Connor Brenz is in. Nathan Mills is also in. And driving and having his shot rejected was Dahm. Martinsville pushes it up. Ball fake. They feed down low to Bertelson. His shot goes up. It goes in. Good hustle back by Martinsville, and they open up a 3-point lead with 6:13 left to go first half.
You know, Brian, you mentioned Plainfield lack of 3-point shooting. Reese Crawford leads the team with only 7 3-pointers made. Kurkowski also has 3 3-pointers made.
Crawford's shot from just left of the elbows, no good. Ripping the rebound is Dahm, but he has it stolen out of his hands. Outlet as Martinsville runs, but the layup is no good by Myers, and Plainfield gets the rebound. This is Connor Brenz. Brenz entry pass to Mills is poked away, and Martinsville runs. Now holding up is Josh Bertelson. A wise move, a nice ball fake, but getting trapped underneath was Zach Anderson. And now we'll have a traveling violation as Gannon Myers tried to do a little stutter step, traveled to the basketball. Turnover gives the ball back to the Quakers. Max Kurkowski now will return to the lineup. As Chris said, he got a pretty long break there in that first quarter. Kyler Nichols also back onto the court for head coach Andy Weaver. Quakers trail the Artesians 15-12 with 5:30 left to go first half.
One nice feature of the Plainfield offense is both their big guys, Max Kurkowski and Nathan Mills, can handle the ball on the court, put the ball in the dribble, and take the man off the dribble. So both good ball handlers for big guys.
Nichols looking to make the entry pass to Mills, but he's being fought off by Bertelson in the low post. And Plainfield will be able to control the basketball. This is Reese Crawford, left side to Kurkowski. Kurkowski, right-hand dribble, picks it up. Now looking to somebody to give the basketball to, and he will find Kyler Nichols. Nichols will go back to Kurkowski near the center jump circle. Under 5 minutes left to go first half. Plainfield trails 15-12. Low-scoring affair here so far in this contest. Nathan Mills back to Kurkowski. 3-ball on the way.
There's
is
Max.
good.
Good job by Max. He had a little defensive pressure on him. Hit that three off the screen. Good job, Max.
Kurkowski's three ties the game at 15 as we approach 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this first half of play. With the basketball right now is Martinsville bouncing it over to Deaton. Deaton, they go left side as the three ball is no good by Zach Anderson, and the rebounds corralled by Connor Brenz of the Quakers.
Connor is their leading rebounder. A good defensive rebound there.
Kurkowski with the basketball. He just hit that three to tie the game. He's hounded by Logan Ratz, and they'll give the basketball up to Reese Crawford as we are at the halfway point here in quarter number 2, all tied at 15. Here's Kurkowski. Gets around a screen, and he was expecting Mills to go to the basket. Mills popped out, and the turnover gives the ball back to Martinsville. With the basketball, Logan Ratz had a head fake but was cut off. He'll get the basketball back between the circles. 15-15, that's our score. 3:42 left to go first half. Martinsville, again, good ball movement into the hands of Zach Anderson. They give it up top. Right side now down low. With the basketball, double team comes underneath, and just throwing the basketball away was Trey Deaton. Nowhere to go. 3 white-shirted Quaker defenders around him, and he ends up throwing the basketball away.
I do want to correct that rebounding total. Brenz is third. Max and, of course, Nathan Mills both lead the team in rebounding. Turnover, Plainfield.
A little bit of not paying attention to the situation on the court as Kurkowski is going to be hit with the 5-second call. Trey Deaton was within an arm's length, and Kurkowski not paying attention to the count, and he turns it over on the 5-second call. And the Artesians have the basketball with 3:10 left to go first half in a 15-15 game.
Turnovers about equal, 3 on both sides, I count, Brian. Rebounding, Plainfield has a slight advantage.
3-point basket by Zach Anderson will break this tie, 18-15 in favor of Martinsville. But Kurkowski comes back. His three is short off the front iron, and Bertelson corrals the rebound for Martinsville. Here is Northern. His three from the corner is good, and
that's going to lead to an Andy Weaver timeout.
3 3-point baskets here in the quarter for Martinsville, where we didn't have a single 3-point basket in the first quarter.
Suddenly bombs away there, Brian.
And the only bucket so far for the Quakers here in this quarter was a 3-point basket by Max Kurkowski. So both teams looking for inside presence in the first quarter. Now both times looking to hit some bombs from the perimeter, and so far it's Martinsville doing the better job.
You know, really, Brian, you look at this, a couple of historic programs here. Martinsville, of course, a historic program. Of course, they have Coach Wooden on their resume, but way back to 1916, they owned 3 state championships, and that was a long time ago. 24, 27, and 33 for Martinsville. Of course, Plainfield's big state championship in 1999. They'll inbounds the ball here and bring it up with 2:40 left, and they trail 21-15.
Plainfield a little slow getting out of that huddle. The official just simply put the basketball on the court and started his count.
He did.
And Plainfield had to hurry up and get that ball inbounds.
They want the ball to Nathan.
Kurkowski gives the ball up. This is Reese Crawford, right side into the hands of Nichols. Kyler with the basketball, drives right side, kicks it out to Crawford, and Crawford is going to be called for I think his back foot was on the sideline.
Yeah, I think so.
Turnover, give the ball back to Martinsville with 2:17 left to go first half. Martinsville leads by 6, 21-15. This matches their biggest lead of the contest.
2 minutes left. Need a good defensive stop here on this possession.
Plainfield staying in that 2-3 zone. They get it down low to Northern. Northern shot partially tipped by Nathan Mills, but he gets his own rebound, and he'll put it up with the right hand and up and in. Keegan Northern now is 7 points for Martinsville, and the lead's 23-15 in favor of the Artesians with 1:43 left to go first half.
Good example of following your shot there. He missed the first one. He was right there for his own rebound. Put it back up and in.
Nathan drives, lays it up, just puts it too hard over the glass, but Kurkowski is there. He goes up, he gets the bucket, and he'll head to the line.
There's Big Max showing some power. Of course, Max not the biggest as far as weight and strength, but showed some good power right there, getting that rebound, getting it right back up and in.
Foul will go against Zach Anderson. That's his first. Team foul number 4 against Martinsville as Kurkowski's free throw is good. Max scoreless in the first quarter, and he now has 6 points in the game, and he'll head to the bench.
Max glad to get that free throw. He came in as just a 53% free throw shooter in the season so far, so Max having a little trouble at the free throw line.
Three-point play makes it a 5-point Artesian lead with 1:24 left to go in the first half. With the basketball, Tim Boland. He tries to feed it to Keegan Northern. Not one of the better passes you'll see. Northern can't handle it. It'll go out of bounds, and the turnover will give the ball back to Plainfield, and that's going to mean head coach Andy Weaver is going to bring Max Kurkowski right back in as he goes offense-defense. Kurkowski back in. Also, Keegan Motter also back in for Coach Weaver. As the Quakers trail by 5 with 1:13 left to go first half. Motter with the basketball left side. He gives it to Kurkowski. Kurkowski pull-up jumper from 12. Rims out, no good. Loose ball picked back up, and Kurkowski can't corral it. Gets his own rebound, tries to go up with it, and the ball will go out of bounds off of Martinsville's Gannon Myers with 58.8 seconds remaining in the first half. The Quakers will have the basketball trailing by 5.
Boy, Shane Max couldn't get one to go there. He's fired up this second quarter after having some bench time in the first quarter, but he turns it over there.
Tried to lob it in to Mills, but a good job by Northern, and now Myers will hit the bucket as Gannon Myers makes it a 25-18 lead for Martinsville. 42 seconds remaining. Costly turnover makes this a 7-point game in favor of Martinsville. And right now, Quakers look like they're just going to play for the final shot.
Yeah, Coach Weaver called that out right away, and now he's calling his play. He's having the ball held out high, way at the top, and they're going to hold for this last shot, Brian.
Approach 20 seconds left, and now Plainfield will start their offense. With the basketball is Reese Crawford. Crawford to Mills. Mills from the right elbow is up and good.
Where they found Nathan. He had a little hole in that zone, and boy, he hit it. Good shot, Nathan.
And now this time we'll have the Artesians stepping on the sideline, and with 5.7 seconds left to go in the half, Martinsville leads 25-20, but the Quakers will have the basketball.
Okay, and with 5.7 seconds left, you're going to have to hurry a little bit. Definitely time to get off a good shot well within your offensive zone here.
Kyler Nichols now into the contest. He'll get it into the front court. Double team comes. Gives the ball to Kurkowski. Kurkowski, 3-ball, top of the key. Hits the front iron. It won't drop, and that's the end of the first half. Quakers led by 2 after 1 quarter. They trail by 5 at the break. We'll come back with some thoughts about what's going on here in Plainfield Quaker land as we'll talk about what's happening in the Mid-State Conference on not only the boys' side, but the girls' side as well. This is Quaker Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact JP today at 550-2116. That's JP Brenz and Caliper Home Loans. Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Dawn Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com. We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield. We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whip State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to HoosierGuide.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. with State Farm Agency in Plainfield. Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
Halftime at Plainfield High School, and the Quakers trail the Martinsville Artesians by the score of 25-20. Alongside Christopher Worley, I'm Brian Scott. First of 10 broadcasts we're bringing to you this season on Audio Sports Online. Our next broadcast will be on December 12th, December 23rd, when the Quakers take on Terre Haute North, the eve before Christmas Eve, as you will. And then we will also have some exciting basketball here as the Quakers are going to take on some pretty big names, and none bigger as we're going to see the Brownsburg Bulldogs twice here at Plainfield High School. Brownsburg currently ranked 6th and one of the best teams in Class 4A in the state of Indiana, and you're going to see them twice here at Plainfield High School. The first time will be January 7th when the Bulldogs make a trip to Plainfield, as the Quakers and the Bulldogs will tip off the Hendricks County tournament that takes place this season here at Plainfield High School. And then once again, the Bulldogs will be back here on February 17th for a regularly scheduled contest, and that's going to be the second of back-to-back games against Hendricks County opponents. On February 12th, a game that you can watch right here on Audio Sports Online, the Quakers will welcome the Cascade Cadets here to the Red Pride Gymnasium. So some good basketball to be found here on Audio Sports Online. We'll have other games, including games with Northview, the typical knockdown drag-out when the Greenwood Woodmen will come here, and then we'll have the season finale as Greenfield Central visits the Red Pride Gymnasium on February 26th. So an exciting season of Red Pride basketball here on Audio Sports Online. Don't forget, if you missed the game or if you just want to see the on-demand replay, go to www.audiosportsonline.net. And Chris, when we take a look at some of the Hendricks County basketball, of course, Plainfield is going to play some big names. Of course, they've already played Avon this year. It was an exciting game to go to Bankers Life Fieldhouse to be able to play that game against Avon. And unfortunately for Plainfield, they were on the short end of a 71-59 defeat. The Quakers, of course, will be traveling to Danville, 2 matchups with the Bulldogs, and then a game also with Cascade.
Yeah, it's an exciting schedule for Plainfield. We certainly want to thank the Plainfield crew here. Tori Rodke, his first year here as athletic director, has got us a good setup, and we appreciate their cooperation. We do want to mention that Plainfield JV had a good game here first, and they did win over Martinsville, 55-49. The Plainfield JV head coach, of course, certainly familiar to Plainfield fans here, Mr. Gavin Groninger. Of course, he is the all-time leading scorer here at Plainfield, played years 96 through 99, 1,768 points for Gavin. He's the JV coach. Fine facilities here, so we're really glad to be here. Other Hendricks County games tonight. Southmont is at Danville. Frankfort's at Tri-West, and then tomorrow, of course, the big night, Lebanon at Brownsburg and Terre Haute South at Avon. But, this Red Pride basketball team, I know they want to improve on last year's results. And, of course, head coach Weaver, nobody works harder than him at doing that. So got an exciting schedule for you folks this year. And, of course, like Brian talked about, the Hendricks County tournament is going to be right here, and that's an exciting event. It goes over 3 or 4 days. Avon, Brownsburg, Tri-West, everybody here, and that's an exciting event. So, and this gym is well accommodated, well suited to host a big tournament like that. Big, nice facility here, so we look forward to that, Brian.
Let's take a look at what's happening in the Mid-State Conference. Of course, everybody now underway in boys basketball. Take a look at some action from last week. Of course, as everybody pretty much got underway, games of last weekend on Friday, Decatur Central defeated Franklin 76-44. It was Martinsville defeating Greenwood 69-36. Mooresville over Danville 64-42, and Plainfield fell to Whiteland 64-46. Last Saturday, it was Columbus North 79, Martinsville 58. Mount Vernon at Ford Field defeated Decatur Central 69-66. Plainfield defeated Monrovia 65-45. It took overtime. Seymour defeated Franklin 63-60, and Terre Haute South defeated Mooresville 69-62. Action tonight: Franklin is at Greenwood, Mooresville is at Decatur Central, Whiteland is at Roncalli. And tomorrow night, Bloomington South will be at Decatur Central, Hauser is at Franklin, Heron is at Greenwood, Martinsville is at Center Grove. And for you Plainfield fans, if you want to go see tomorrow's night game, you got a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
The Quakers will be playing at Batesville tomorrow night, so a trip down to southeastern Indiana for the Quakers. The conference records as of tonight's contest: Martinsville 1-0 in conference play, 2-1 overall. If you take a look at the standings, none of the mid-state conference teams are perfect on the year. Martinsville 2-1 overall, 1-0 in the conference. Same can be said for Whiteland. Decatur Central is 1-2, but that one win was a mid-state conference win. Mooresville is getting their first taste of mid-state conference play tonight when they play when they play at Decatur Central. So Mooresville 2-1 are the Pioneers. Greenwood is 1-2, 0-1 in the conference. Plainfield, is 1-3, but 0-1 in conference play. And Franklin is yet to win this season. They are 0-3 and 0-1 in conference play. Plainfield came into tonight's contest averaging a little over 59 points per game, but giving up almost 63 points per game. Not a huge difference in margin of victory. That just tells you some of these games could have gone a little bit either way for the Quakers. They lost in some of these cases, though. It's a little misleading, especially with that 20-point win with Monrovia. But again, Plainfield, they'll be on the road for their next two contests tomorrow at Batesville, and then they will travel and meet their longtime Hendricks County rival at Danville on December 20th, before Chris and I are back on December 23rd when the Quakers will host Terre Haute North.
Well, you look at that schedule for Plainfield, and Quaker fans really would like to see them more at home in the early part here. Of course, they had that Westfield game, the first game of the year at home here, but then they were at the Fieldhouse versus Avon, then at Whiteland, at Monrovia. Of course, tonight's home game, and then the next two are on the road again at Batesville, at Danville. So that December 23rd against Terre Haute North, that'll be a big game here. Get a lot of fans out and get the Red Pride a win there, and then they're home against Perry Meridian to close out the December portion of the schedule. So be patient, fans. They will be here at Plainfield for too long. But then, of course, the first year, Hendricks County tournament.
Well, let's tell you what happened here in this first half. Martinsville had a 15-8 spurt in the second quarter to lead 25-20 at the half, as Plainfield led 12-10 at the end of the first quarter. Leading all scorers with 8 points is Nathan Mills, 6 points for Mass Kurkowski, all of those in that second quarter. 2 points each for Bryson Ellis, Connor Brenz, and Reese Crawford for the Quakers. For Martinsville, 7 points each for Keegan Northern and Gannon Myers, 5 points for Zach Anderson, 2 points each for Logan Retz, Trey Deaton, and Josh Bertelson. We're ready for second half action. So glad you could join us for Red Pride basketball here on Audio Sports Online. My name's Brian Scott. Christopher Worley is joining me, and the Quakers will begin the second half with the basketball, trailing by 5. Same starters out there for Plainfield: Reese Crawford, Kyler Nichols, Max Kurkowski, Bryson Ellis, and Nathan Mills.
I tell you, Plainfield would like to get Reese Crawford some points here. They need help in the scoring department.
Mills drives left side of the lane, shot no good. And it's controlled by Martinsville, who has the same 5 starters: Keegan Northern, Zach Anderson, Logan Ratz, Gannon Myers, and Trey Deaton. Their starting 5 will begin the second half. At the free throw line, Trey Deaton retreats, gives the ball to Anderson. Anderson's pull-up jumper from the free throw line is up and good, and Martinsville scores first here in the second half to lead by 7.
And what I mean by that, as far as we want to balance out the offense a little bit. Most teams know that Mills and Kurkowski are going to score. Those are 1-2. Reese Crawford third in the for Red Pride in scoring so far, but yet to get on track tonight as they missed that shot.
Mills' turnaround jumper is no good. Nathan having a problem with his jump shot. Long range 3 is no good. Ball tapped out of bounds, and the ball will belong to Plainfield as the 3 ball by Gannon Myers is no good. Nathan having a little problem with that jump shot. He has 6 points, most of it down low in the post. His jump shot just not falling so far tonight, but he does lead all scorers with 8 points. 27-20, Martinsville with the lead. Plainfield looking for their first points here in the second half. This is Mills up top. They'll swing it around. 3-ball on the way. Reese Crawford long off the iron, no good. Rebounded by Zach Anderson of Martinsville.
Yeah, we wanted Reese to get going. He needed to hit that shot. Just couldn't do it, but he'll hopefully get him to fall here in the second half.
Dribbling the basketball is Myers as they swing it around, driving in the lane, kicking it out. 3-ball on the way from the corner is long by Keegan Northern. He had 7 points in that first half, including 1 3-point basket. Trap comes, but they get the ball around. Here's Kurkowski for 3. His shot no good. Loose ball falls into the hands of Plainfield's Reese Crawford. His shot can't go. Andy Weaver begging for a foul, won't get the call. And Martinsville comes the other way. They'll feed it down low. Good hands to, well, I thought it was going to go off of Kurkowski, but they'll say it went off of the Artesians, and the turnover will hand the ball right back to Plainfield. They trail by 7 with 5:55 left to go third quarter.
Sure looked like Max might have tipped that out of bounds, but referee's going to give the ball to Plainfield, and they'll take it.
Dribbling the basketball, Kyler Nichols gives it to Nathan. Nathan, right side. This is Reese Crawford. Crawford down, entry pass, stolen away by Trey Deaton to Martinsville. A little sloppy on the entry pass. Martinsville gets the turnover.
Yes, and Max was double covered down there. Tried to force that ball in there, led to the turnover.
Martinsville with the basketball up by 7, 5:26 left. Plainfield still looking for their first points of the second half. Here's Northern, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul as Plainfield is going to be called for the personal foul. Looks like it's going to go on Bryson Ellis.
Keegan Northern, the junior player, 6'8", for Martinsville. He's an active player in both offense and defense. Good-looking player, 6'8", Keegan Northern.
Ellis's first foul, first team foul. Northern has his shot rejected by Mills, but into the hands of Rats. 3-ball from the corner is up, and that is Zach Anderson's second 3-point basket. He has 12 points, and it's the biggest lead of the night for Martinsville. They lead by 10, 30-20, as Plainfield still looking for their first points here in the second half, and we're almost 3 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, it's too bad they couldn't recover the ball after the Nathan Mills block. That's his 10th block of the season. He does lead the team.
Now just a plain strip, poked out, and now recontrolling the ball is Myers. He will take it up, has his shot rejected by Mills, and here's Nichols with the basketball. He'll give it to Crawford. Crawford will throw it up off the glass. No good. Kurkowski with the follow-up. His shot won't go, but a whistle and a foul will go against Martinsville. First foul of Martinsville here in the second half.
Boy, Reese Crawford really frustrated after missing that layup. Just can't get the ball to go in the bucket tonight. He's still wandering around at half court saying, what's going on with my shot?
Kurkowski's free throw is up and good.
Good follow by Max. Connor Brenz now will check in, number 44 for Plainfield, at one of the post positions.
That foul went against Logan Ratz. That's his first team foul, number 1. Kurkowski with one more free throw. He hits it. He's 3 for 3 from the line tonight, as he has 8 points, and it's 30-22 in favor of Martinsville, as Kurkowski will now sit down.
That's going to help Max's free throw percentage a little bit. Remember we said in the first half he was a 53% foul shooter coming in, and that's not like Max, so he's 3 out of 3 this game.
Keegan Motter now in, and ball is loose, and it's finally picked up by Reese Crawford, and they'll say it was fought for on the sideline and went off of an Artesian, went off of a Quaker. It was an over and back maybe.
Hold on. We may have this reverse. I think that's Plainfield ball.
Coach Weaver thought that it was headed to the other end of the court for Plainfield, and now the officials are talking this over. If nobody had possession,
players on both teams signaling, hey, it's our ball, and pointing in their respective directions. It is going to be Plainfield ball.
So the Quakers will get it, and this time it's Kip Staggs, the coach of Martinsville, that will protest the decision. But the Quakers will have the basketball, trailing by 8 with 4:31 left to go in the third quarter. Reese Crawford, Mark Dahm II, Connor Brenz, Nathan Mills, and Keegan Motter are your 5 on the court for the Red Pride. 30-22, Martinsville with the lead, Plainfield with the basketball. Right side, this is Crawford. Crawford looking to feed to Brenz. Kick ball, as getting a foot out there was Logan Ratz, and we'll keep it down here at the Quaker end. Into the game now for Martinsville. Tim Boland, he'll come in. He'll take over for Gannon Myers. Myers leaves with 7 points, scoreless here in the third quarter.
Connor Brins, the sophomore, trying to get set down on that low post down there. Tried to get the ball into him, just couldn't get it. And kick out by Martinsville.
Mills sets a high ball screen. And now we'll get the basketball in the right wing. They look down low to Brins. Mills in the lane. Floater with a right hand is up and good.
Boy, Nathan showing his skill right there. Got to get close in shot. Good shot, teardrop shot. 30-24, Martinsville leads.
Mills now in double figures with 10 points with that bucket, his first of the second half, with 3:46 left to go third quarter.
Back to his zone defense.
As Martinsville will move the ball around. This is Anderson, left side. 3-ball from the corner is off the front of the iron, and Keegan Motter pulls down the rebound for the Quakers. They can cut this 6-point deficit down here as Nathan shot no good. And coming away with a rebound is Trey Deaton for Martinsville. They lead by 6. Here's Northern. His 3-ball is short off the side of the rim, and coming away with a rebound is Motter. Loose ball at the center jump circle, and Martinsville getting the basketball and poking it in, and not a very smart play there. Keegan Motter was thinking he was going to be able to save the basketball to a teammate. Instead, he sent it right to Zach Anderson with no Quakers down at that end of the court, and Anderson has an easy bucket. He now has 12 points, and it's a 32-24 Martinsville lead. That shot well short by Crawford. As Martinsville brings it down, they don't have numbers. They'll pull it back out.
Boy, Reese just cannot get a bucket to fall.
Long range 3, rolls around and drops for Zach Anderson. Zach Anderson, 10 points in the quarter, 15 on the game, and Coach Andy Weaver's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, he needed that timeout. You don't want to go, they're down by 11 now. You don't want to have them increase the lead. This is a critical possession.
It's a 30-second timeout for Coach Weaver and the Red Pride. And they have watched Zach Anderson outscore them 10-4 in this third quarter. Max Kurkowski with a couple of free throws and a Nathan Mills bucket. That's been the extent of the scoring for Plainfield here in this third quarter. And for the Artesians, they're not really getting a lot of help from anybody else, but it's been Anderson with 2 threes and a couple of...
Reese Crawford came in averaging 10.8, and I believe he only has 2, Brian, but he's shot the ball here in the third quarter, just can't get one to fall, and he is growing more frustrated in time. Just need to be patient, take your time, work yourself into a good shooting position. Maybe he'll get some points here, and they certainly need it.
Both teams just content to shoot the jump shots, and once again, Plainfield has to rush to get this ball in bounds as they were late getting out of the cuddle once again on the 30-second timeout.
See what Coach Weaver has called out of the timeout. Big possession here. It's Nathan driving.
Nathan, turnaround jumper with a right hand. Nice soft shot. Mills with 12 points, and the deficit's back down to single digits at 35-26 as we approach the 2-minute mark in the third quarter.
Obviously, the call there was get Mills the ball and let him work his stuff.
Nice entry pass and good ball movement by Martinsville as hitting the 3-point basket was Tim Boland. His first bucket of the night is a bomb, and it's back to a double-digit advantage for Martinsville, 38-26 with 1:45 left to go third quarter. Martinsville with very good ball movement. Here's a 3 that's short off the side of the iron by Dawson Messer, who's making his first appearance in the game tonight, and will have a foul called against Josh Bertelson, his first, team foul number 2 against Martinsville, and it'll be the Quakers taking it out on the end line. Throwing it into the backcourt where Messer will get it as Dahm triggered the inbounds. Messer drives, goes left side. Here's Crawford with the basketball. Picks it back up, back to Messer. To Dahm between the circles, closely guarded. Back to Messer. Good defense by Martinsville. They've been able to get a body on a Quaker, and that shot by Dahm is over the back rim. Bertelson with a rebound for Martinsville.
Martinsville winning the rebound battle here in the second half.
Approaching the 1-minute mark left to go in the third quarter. Martinsville up by 12. They'll kick it out. 3-ball on the way. That one rims in.
Wow.
I was about ready to say it's going to rim out, but Wyatt Stroder hits the three. It's the fourth three-point basket for Martinsville in the quarter. They lead 41-26. Floater in the lane just will not drop for Reese Crawford. Martinsville controls the rebound. Go right side, and good hands there by Connor Brenz. And now the ball's going to be tapped away, and they're going to, as it was Tim Bolin trying to save that ball before it went out of bounds right there in front of Coach Staggs and the Martinsville bench. Max Kurkowski now will return. Max with 8 points in the contest. 6 of them came in that second quarter. 32.6 seconds remain, 41-26. Martinsville with the lead. Red Pride with the basketball.
Really need a good play here, good possession. Need to score here before the end of the third quarter.
Crawford with the basketball. 23 seconds remain. Gets high screen. Now dumps the ball off to Brenz. Brenz turn around in the lane, and he's going to be called for traveling. It's good defense by Josh Bertelson. Kept his feet in front of Brenz and forced Connor to pick up the pivot foot and be called for steps.
5 turnovers by Plainfield just in this quarter.
41-26, 10 seconds remain in the quarter. It's been all Martinsville here in quarter number 3. 3-ball top of the key is no good. Messer has the rebound for Plainfield, and trying to corral the basketball. He's going to be called for steps as the defense came to meet him immediately. 1 second remaining in this third quarter.
Going to defend the catch and shoot.
Martinsville, they get the ball inbound. Shot is up, and shot is good.
And it was a three.
Stroder hits the 3-ball as time expires, and it is all Martinsville in quarter number 3. As we'll head to the fourth and final quarter, the Artesians lead the Quakers 44-26. Back in a moment. This is Red Pride Basketball on ASL.
Whether you're looking to buy a new home or need to refinance an existing mortgage, J.P. Brenz and Caliper Home Loans can help you with all your mortgage financing needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and USDA loans. Contact JP today at 550-2116. That's JP Brenz and Caliper Home Loans.
An ugly, ugly third quarter for the Plainfield Quakers. They're outscored by Martinsville 19-6. 10 points for Zach Anderson in that quarter. And Martinsville as a team hit 5 3-point baskets in that third quarter. And they now have an 18-point lead against Plainfield. Leading scorer for Plainfield, Nathan Mills, with 12 points, 4 points in that third quarter. But really, for Plainfield, they had shots. They just couldn't get them to drop.
Yeah.
And now they trail by 18.
Need to have a good start here. You're not out of the game yet here, Brian. If you can get a good first 3 to 4 minutes of this quarter, but they're going to have to outscore Martinsville, of course.
We'll get to the lineups on the court in a moment. With the basketball is Martinsville. This is Gannon Myers. Myers with the entry pass to Bertelson. As Bertelson gets the basketball, the double team comes from Crawford and Brenz, and the foul is going to be called against Plainfield.
Yeah, you can see there in the first possession right away, Plainfield going to turn up the defensive heat, going to try and get some steals, maybe a few runouts. That's exactly what they need. These first 3 or 4 minutes, they have to get back in this game right now.
Crawford with his first, only the second team foul, and that might help Plainfield as they're going to have fouls to burn. Nobody with any foul trouble for Plainfield, and pretty much the same could be said for Martinsville. Only Wyatt Stroder with 2 fouls. This has been a very, very foul-free contest all night long. For Martinsville, they've only shot 2 free throws. They made them both. And for Plainfield, they've shot 3, and they made all 3 of theirs. Triggering the inbound from the baseline is Bolin, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Brenz, but we'll stay down here at this end.
You know, you mentioned foul-free or less fouls here in this game. That's kind of unusual in high school basketball. We've seen a lot of the hand-checking on the perimeter players called this year in high school basketball. Not in this game, though.
They trigger the inbounds. Losing his footing was Deaton. He'll get his footing back, and a nice little scoop shot by Trey Deaton goes up and in. Deaton with only his second bucket of the night, but it's the largest lead. It's a 20-point Martinsville lead with 7:23 left to go in the ball game. Messer's pull-up is no good, And Bertelsen will grab the rebound for Martinsville. They lead by 20. They look to push it to an even bigger lead. Nice weave up top, and that's been very noticeable at Martinsville with some good ball movement, but this time a little sloppy, and now got players in red and white all over the court, and the possession arrow will favor Plainfield.
Boy, it's a shame the Quakers couldn't come up with the ball there. Good active hands on defense. They need those steals, just couldn't come up with the loose ball.
We talked about coming into this game that has been one of the problems for Coach Andy Weaver's Quakers has been the number of turnovers. They've been averaging over 12 turnovers a game and only 10 assists. And you never like to see that turnover to assist ratio on the wrong side. Pull-up jumper or from about 10 foot from Brenz is no good. Loose ball can't be corralled by Martinsville, and the ball will stay down at the Quaker end with 6:47 left to go in the ball game, and the Quakers trailing 46-26. And we'll have a whistle, and we have a violation. Yeah, we're going to have a foul.
Yeah, foul on number 55 there for Martinsville. The foul against Josh Bertelsen. He's guarding the inbounds play.
I think they were warning Bertelsen not to step over. The foul went against Bolins.
Okay.
But the Quakers, and again, they almost lose it, as we've seen good quick hands by Martinsville all night long. This time, Josh Bertelsen greets some fans in the first row as he tries to get the basketball, but the Quakers will retain possession, trailing by 20. They get the ball into Nathan's hands, and Nathan will look at a screen, pull-up jumper right from the right elbow is no good. Skying through the lane was Bryson Ellis, and looks like we're going to have a foul called against Bertelsen, possibly.
Yeah, on the rebound there. He was battling with Jacob Maple there. Jacob getting a little playing time here in the second half and just got the body on the rebounder.
Yeah, they called it against Bolins again. So second time we thought it was against Bertelsen. It was actually against Bolins. 14 foul against Martinsville. 6:32, still a 20-point Artesian lead as Gavin Ritter, who saw some JV minutes, he is in now. Maple's shot no good. Follow through by Nathan Mills is no good. Actually, it was Bryson Ellis with the shot, but and Bolins will pick up foul number 3. So 5 team fouls against the Artesians, and Nathan Mills is headed to the line for the first time tonight. Nathan with 12 points.
Mills came in as a 68% foul shooter in this so far in the season. This is the first one.
That one was long off the back flange. He was hoping to maybe catch the front rim and trickle in, but it bounces out, and that's the first miss for either team from the free throw line tonight. Second free throw is good. 13 points for Nathan, 46-27.
No pressure defense picking up full court yet for Plainfield.
This is Bertelsen. He's going to be bodied up by Brenz, and Martinsville will move the basketball around. 3-ball left wing. It's on its way. Shot no good by Gannon Myers, and getting the basketball and travel. It's the second time we've seen a Quaker come down with a basketball, go to the floor, and immediately the travel violation has been called against Plainfield.
You know, you mentioned them averaging 12 turnovers a game. I have them for just about that right now, 12, maybe 13.
And they're going to make sure any perspiration is wiped up down there on the court. It will be Tim Bolin triggering the inbounds for Martinsville from underneath near their own basket from the end line. He'll get the ball into Bertelsen. It was a low pass back to Bolin. 3-ball on the way. That's short off the side of the rim. And finally coming away with it is Brenz for Plainfield. He'll get it into the hands of Gavin Ritter. Ritter skips it down the baseline. Shot no good by, I believe that was Jacob Maple.
Yes.
And the rebound comes down to the hands of Martinsville. So the shooting woes for Plainfield in the second half continue. But they get the turnover. Brenz gets the ball. He'll hand it to Mills. Nathan dribbles it up. Pull-up jumper from just beyond the free throw line is good.
Nathan, a nice stop and pop there. Get the 2 and a timeout right after the bucket by Coach Weaver.
And it will be a full timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 5:28 left to go in this basketball game. Plainfield trails Martinsville 46-29. This is Red by Basketball on ASL.
Prestwick Pet Sitters and owner Don Crawford is a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Quakers basketball team. Prestwick Pet Sitters has been in business for over 20 years, servicing Plainfield, Avon, and Danville, specializing in home pet care for all types of pets, from Angora rabbits to zebrafish and all the cats and dogs in between. Visit PrestwickPetSitters.com or call 745-9900 to learn more or schedule an appointment before your next trip. That's PrestwickPetSitters.com.
The Quakers have outscored the Artesians 3-2 in this quarter, but they trail 46-29. They're going to need a lot more points as their shooting touch here in this second half has pretty much been non-existent. They only had 3 field goals in this entire second half. They're 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And when you take a look, they have scored 9 points here in the second half, and they have 7 of those from Nathan Mills. So offensive woes here for the Quakers in the second half. The Artesians have the basketball, leading 46-29.
Little pressure trap now here on defense for the Quakers.
Nice down low entry pass, but a good steal is coming away with the basketball. Anthony Boland for the Quakers. He'll give it to Connor Brenz, back to Boland. As Coach Andy Weaver now going a little deeper into his bench. Here's Boland down to the right side. Look for Mills down low. Mills with an advantage down low, but good defense by Gannon Myers. Cut off as Crawford. He sends it back out. Jump shot no good, but fighting down low was Connor Brenz, and he's going to be bodied up and bodied out of position. That's going to be a foul called against the Artesians. Gannon Myers with his first, but it is the 6th team foul against the Artesians. That means the Quakers are shooting free throws for the remaining 4 minutes and 49 seconds as they are in the bonus. And now ball almost lost, but being able to corral it was Gavin Ritter and bring it back into the front court. 46-29, Artesians with the lead, and now a steal as Bertelsen has it, sends it on ahead, and with a nice easy layup is Zach Anderson. Anderson with 17 points. It's a 19-point Martinsville lead. 4:24 left to go in this basketball game. Nathan with the basketball, and he loses it. Stripped out of his hands by Zach Anderson. And now we'll have a traveling violation called against Martinsville. So at least they're calling it both ways. When we see players on the floor with the basketball, any slight movement is being called a travel. This time it works in favor of the Quakers.
Or some turnovers at inopportune time, though, for the Red Pride here.
And there's a very big one, a 5-second violation called, as unable to get the ball inbounds was Anthony Boland. And the turnover will give the ball back to Martinsville, leading by 19.
And they're at 15 turnovers now for this game. Brian, that's something that we're going to work on. They have to improve now.
Also credit some very, very good Martinsville defense. They are fast attacking to the basketball.
And active hands are getting their hands and arms in the passing lanes.
Now blocking foul will be called. This one will go against Jacob Maple, his first.
Coach Kip Staggs, just in his second year. His first year they were 17-9, Martinsville was. So they're off to a 2-1 start so far this season, looking to get a win here at Plainfield.
Under 4 minutes left to go in the basketball game. A 19-point Martinsville lead, 48-29. Turnovers and just simply not able to get a shot to drop. That's been what's been the Quakers' problem here. Nice find.
Beautiful pass.
Looking underneath was with a no-look. Gannon Myers found Zach Anderson. Anderson with 19 points to lead all scores, and it's a 21-point Martinsville lead with 3:30 left to go. Now they try to make the entry pass, this time to Connor Brenz, and we'll have a whistle and a foul, and that's going to send the Quakers to the line as they are now in the bonus.
Brian, that time that foul really on Josh Bertelsen. He tried to come over the top and get his hand in front of that pass, but wasn't able to do it. Collected the foul, and Connor Brenz will go to the line. So far this year, just 33% from the line, as he's been 2 out of 6 coming into this game.
And he'll have the first. He'll get the first.
Good
He'll
job,
have
Connor.
the bonus. Makes it 50-30. And everybody has to come back as we have one more free throw to.
Connor Brent's just a sophomore. His Plainfield fans are going to see plenty of him over the next few years. He's played a lot of minutes here tonight again.
That free throw's no good. It hits off of the back of the flange. As Keegan Northern back in. He's been rather quiet all night long.
Trapping defense here for the Red Pride.
Northern will kick it left side, and this is a guy that Anderson is a guy that the Quakers really need to make sure they keep a hold, an eye on where that is. That looked like a good block coming in by Brenz, but he's going to pick up the personal.
Good spin move there by Keegan Northern. Again, that 6'8 junior, very active in the post for Martinsville.
Fourth team foul against the Quakers, and to the line will be Northern. Northern hits the first of two. Not a lot of free throws for Martinsville tonight. That's only their third, but they've hit all three of them. And make it all four of them is Northern hits both free throws. He has 9 points, and it's a 22-point Martinsville lead with 3 minutes left to go in the game.
Martinsville with a tough assignment tomorrow night. They'll be at a big school. They'll be at Center Grove Saturday night.
Mills' jumper is no good. Pulling the rebound is Rats for Martinsville, and they will try to feed it down low. It was Gannon Myers with the shot, and Josh Bertelson was expecting to go up for a possible rebound, not expecting Myers to try to pass the ball off. And as we come the other way, we'll have a whistle and a foul called against Martinsville. Gannon Myers will pick up his second, the 8th team foul against the Artesians, and to the line, hitting the first of the 1-and-1 is
Mark Dahm. Yeah. Dahm. These are his first free throws of the year, at least coming into this game. He does not have any. Got them both.
Actually, it was Bryson Ellis.
I'm sorry, you're right, 32.
And Plainfield will call a timeout. Trailing by 20 with 2:38 left, we'll take a timeout as well. This is Red Pride Basketball on Audio Sports Online.
We'd like to thank Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield for being a proud sponsor of Plainfield Quaker Basketball. Raymond's Alignment Service is Plainfield's complete auto and truck repair center since 1995. You can visit them at 3828 Clarks Creek Road in Plainfield or give them a call at 317-838-7112. That's Raymond's Alignment Service in Plainfield.
Martinsville has outscored Plainfield 8-6 here in quarter number 4. They lead by 20, 52-32, alongside Christopher Worley. I'm Brian Scott. It was a 12-10 Plainfield lead after the end of the first quarter. They trailed by 5 at the end of the first half, but that deficit grew to 18 at the end of 3 quarters, and it's been as high as 22 here in the fourth, as Plainfield, a combination of turnovers and just simply not getting their shots to drop, have really hurt them.
Now we got a full court press. They break it easy.
1-2-2 press as the Artesians get it, and they'll bring it back out, work some clock. A 20-point lead for Martinsville as coming in, trying to get the basketball, and turnover. Kip Staggs, coach of the Artesians, he was looking for the foul. Bryson Ellis was all over the Artesian ball handler, but here's Plainfield coming the other way. Pull-up jumper is up and good by Connor Brenz. Brenz with 5 points, 32-24, 2:10 remains. And once again, Martinsville numbers breaking the press. Bertelson up on ahead, and Josh Bertelson gets his second bucket. He has 4 points, back to a 20-point lead, under 2 minutes left. Driving and not getting the bucket was Connor Brenz. A foul called before the shot, but it is the 9th team foul against Martinsville, so Connor will head back to the free throw line.
Connor showing some good aggressive here in the final stages of this ball game. Got a real nice jumper to go on the last possession. Drove to the hoop there and picked up the foul.
Well, right now, Coach Weaver just looking for somebody to give him any type of offense. Yeah. The Quakers have only hit 3 field goals all in this second half.
That free throw is no good by Connor. And the loose ball is finally controlled by Logan Ratz of Martinsville, and a foul is going to be called. This one's going to go, I believe, on Mark Daum the second. His first, team foul number 6. Jacob Maple back in, that's team foul number 5 against Plainfield.
Max has been off the floor. Max Kurkowski for Plainfield for most of this fourth quarter.
54-34, a minute 47 remains in this basketball game. Martinsville, if not for Zach Anderson, they haven't exactly shot lights out here in this second half, but Anderson hit 10 points in that third quarter. That extended this lead, and now Northern with a turnaround jump shot just in front of the free throw line is fouled on the shot. 16 foul against Plainfield. And Connor Brenz will pick up foul number 3. So Keegan Northern, who's 2 of 2 from the line, he has 9 points on the night. And he'll get a pair of free throws here. And Martinsville remains perfect from the line. One more for Northern. He now has 10 points and make it 11 with a second free throw. 4 of 4 from the line, all of it here in the fourth quarter. It's a 22-point Martinsville lead, under a minute 30 left to play. Nathan Mills with the basketball, backs down, stripped away. Saw that one coming. Logan Ratz just waited for Nathan to kind of pick up his dribble and then just poked it away, and they steal the basketball. A minute 10 left. Is Martinsville in no hurry, but this one, nice hands there by Daum, pokes it away, and it will stay down at this end with Martinsville. 56-34 with a minute 6 left. Is starting to get both teams starting to empty out their benches for this final minute and 6 seconds.
You know, and the Plainfield boys are going to have to put this behind them pretty quick. They have a long road trip tomorrow down to southern Indiana. They will play at Batesville, southeastern Indiana. So the boys going to have to turn this one off, get ready to go tomorrow.
And it is a very long bus ride down to southeastern Indiana at Batesville. And Batesville, always a very good basketball team. Bertelson throws that ball away. He was looking down in the corner, hoping to see Kane Young go to the 3 points in the corner, but throws it away. And 55 seconds remain. 56-34 is our score. Here's a 3 ball. That's off of the side of the rim. No good by Bryson Ellis. Martinsville has the basketball, and they'll get it into the front court with 43 seconds remaining, and they'll just play keep away. Good hands. Mark Daum steals the basketball, and he taps it back. They get it down low, and putting it up and in is Bryson Ellis.
Good hustle by Daum there, not quitting on the play at all. Got that steal in the basket for Plainfield.
56-36, however, is our score with 22 seconds remaining. And credit Mark Daum. He's all over the place, and 20 points down with 18 seconds remaining. He's giving it his all.
That's what you like to see. He's a senior, of course, his last season here for Plainfield basketball, not quitting till the final whistle, even though the game decided by now. But he is really hustling, working hard there for the Red Pride.
Bryson Ellis was with a foul. That's the 17th foul, so the 1-and-1 in effect. And hitting the first shot is Wyatt Stroder, and he will get one more. Again, Martinsville has not shot an abundance of free throws, only 7. They've hit all 7, now make it all 8. And they lead once again by 22 with 15 seconds remaining. So Plainfield's going to fall to 1-4 as the 3 ball no good by Ellis. Rebound controlled by Bolin, and this time Plainfield will let this one tick down, and that will be the ball game. Final score, Martinsville defeats Plainfield 58-36. We'll be back with a few final stats in just a moment. This is Red Pride Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com.
We all have a guy, but who's your guy? Jeremiah P. Whipp State Farm Agency in Plainfield next to Popeye's Chicken is a proud supporter of Plainfield basketball. Jeremiah specializes in life insurance and retirement maximization. Call 839-3322 or go to who'syourguy.net to contact Jeremiah today. That's Jeremiah P. Whipp State Farm Agency in Plainfield.
Does Wings Etc. have great wings? Sure, but wait, there's more. So much more than award-winning jumbo wings. Stop past our new location in Plainfield at 1818 East Main Street, just west of Kroger, and you'll get a great big taste of what the Etc. and Wings Etc. is all about. You can call 406-3250 to place your to-go order today. That's Wings Etc. at 1818 East Main Street in Plainfield.
Plainfield falls to the Martinsville Artesians by the score of 58-36 back at Plainfield High School alongside Christopher Worley. I'm Brian Scott. Story in the second half was simply Plainfield couldn't buy a basket and they couldn't keep from turning the basketball over as they were outscored in that final in the second half by the score of 33-16. Let's give you the final stats in this contest. Leading all scorers for Martinsville with 19 points. 14 of those coming in the second half was Zach Anderson. 11 points from Keegan Northern. 8 points from Wyatt Stroder. 7 points from Gannon Myers. 4 points each from Trey Deaton and Josh Bertelson. 3 points from Tim Bolin. 2 points from Logan Ratz. Kane Young played. He did not score. Leading scorer from the Plainfield Quakers with 15 points was Nathan Mills. 8 points from Max Kurkowski. 6 from Bryson Ellis. 5 points from Connor Brent, 2 points from Reese Crawford, and then Keegan Motter, Dawson Messer, Gavin Ritter, Anthony Bolin, Kyler Nichols, Mark Daum II, and Jacob Maple all played. They did not score. That was pretty much the story of this game. Really, Plainfield couldn't find anybody that could make a basket for him in the second half.
No, that's right. Pretty much everything revolved around Max really didn't play a lot in the second half and didn't score much. With Nathan Mills, star of the game for Plainfield. But they're going to have to get some secondary scoring. Reese Crawford, poor kid, he really played hard but just couldn't get the ball to fall tonight. A lot of turnovers again for Plainfield. So those two factors, poor shooting, a lot of turnovers. The boys going to have to turn around tomorrow at Batesville. And then they have another road game at Danville before they return home. Here, our next game, December 23rd against Terre Haute North.
And we will be on the air for that broadcast here on Audio Sports Online. Tip-off for that game set for around 7:30. We generally go on the air about 5 or 6 minutes before that. Don't forget, if you've missed tonight's ball game, you can always catch a free on-demand replay at Audio Sports Online. I want to thank my broadcast partner, Christopher Worley, and thank you for tuning in tonight for Plainfield Red Pride basketball. The Quakers fall to 1-4 on the season. The Artesians improve to 3-1 as Martinsville defeats Plainfield by the score of 58-36. Until December 23rd, when we'll have our next broadcast against Terre Haute North, this is Brian Scott for Christopher Worley saying thank you. So long, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Plainfield Quakers basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Wings Etc., Prestwick Pet Sitters, State Farm Agent Jeremiah P. Whip, Raymond's Alignment Service, and J.D. Brenz and Caliber Home Loans. Don't forget, you can catch a free on-demand replay of tonight's game by visiting www.audiosportsonline.com. Red Pride Basketball is an AudioSportsOnline.com production.